Here's something strange that almost nobody talks about. If you ask someone who has $10,000 saved and someone who has zero, you'd think the only difference between them is $10,000. That's it. Just a number in a bank account. But if you actually talk to people who've crossed that number, they'll tell you something weird happened. Not to their bank balance, to their brain. The way they think about money, about risk, about their own future. It shifts. And it doesn't happen at $1,000. It doesn't really happen at $5,000 either. Something specific happens around $10,000. So today, let's talk about why this number seems to flip a switch in people's heads, and why understanding this could change how you save for the rest of your life. Most people believe wealth building works like this. You save a little, then a little more, then a little more, and eventually, slowly, steadily, you become financially secure, like climbing a staircase, one even step after another. That sounds logical, but it's not actually how it feels from the inside. Ask anyone who's tried to save money, and they'll tell you the first few $1,000s feel almost pointless. You save $500, then your car needs a repair. You save $800, then it's a medical bill, or a friend's wedding, or your phone breaks. It feels like filling a bucket that has a hole in the bottom. No matter how much you pour in, it never seems to fill up. This is why most people give up on saving. Not because they're lazy, not because they're bad with money, but because for a long time, saving feels like it's not working. There's no visible reward. Your brain doesn't feel richer. It just feels like sacrifice with no payoff. So what actually changes at $10,000? Let's break it down simply. Imagine your finances are like a small boat in the ocean. When you have little to no savings, every wave, every unexpected expense rocks the boat violently. A $300 car repair isn't just a bill. It's an emergency. It might mean skipping rent, borrowing from a friend, or putting it on a credit card you can't pay off. Every financial surprise threatens to capsize you. But once you have $10,000 sitting there, the same wave hits differently. That $300 repair, it barely rocks the boat. You pay it and life continues. The emergency stops feeling like an emergency. This is the first shift, and it's not really about the money itself. It's about what psychologists call reduced financial threat. Your brain, for the first time, isn't constantly scanning for the next disaster. And when your brain isn't in survival mode, it starts doing something it couldn't do before. Think long term. This is the second shift, and it's the more important one. When you're broke, your brain is wired to think about today and tomorrow. Survival mode doesn't care about retirement or investing. It cares about not running out of money this week, but once you have a cushion, your brain quietly shifts its focus from "how do I survive this month" to "how do I grow this?" That's when people start asking new questions. Should I open an investment account? Should I learn about index funds? What if I let this money grow instead of just sitting there? These questions almost never come up when you're living paycheck to paycheck. Not because people are incapable of asking them, but because the brain simply doesn't have the mental space for long-term thinking when it's busy putting out fires. Here's the deeper truth. Hiding underneath all of this, money isn't just a resource. It's a signal to your brain about how safe you are, and your brain behaves completely differently depending on whether it feels safe or threatened. When you have almost nothing saved, your brain treats every dollar as something to protect or spend immediately because instability feels dangerous. But once you cross a certain threshold, and for most people, $10,000 is roughly where this happens, your brain starts treating money as a tool instead of a lifeline. That's the real shift, not the number itself, but the psychological permission it gives you to finally think beyond survival. This is also why rich people often make money decisions that seem to snowball. It's not because they're smarter, it's because they crossed this threshold long ago, and their brain has been in growth mode instead of survival mode for years. Meanwhile, someone constantly hovering near zero is mentally stuck making short-term decisions, even if they're just as intelligent or hardworking. So what does this actually mean for you? It means the first $10,000 you save isn't just about the money. It's about buying yourself out of survival mode. It's the bridge between reacting to life and actually planning it. If you're nowhere near that number yet, don't get discouraged by how slow it feels at the start. That bucket with a hole in it feeling is temporary. It's not a sign you're doing something wrong. It's simply what building a cushion feels like before the cushion exists. And once you do reach that number, whether it's 10,000 for you or a different amount depending on your life, pay attention to what changes in your thinking. That shift is often more valuable than the money itself, because it's the moment you start making decisions like someone building wealth instead of someone just trying to survive. So the next time someone tells you that saving money doesn't matter until you have a real amount, remember this: it's not about the money changing you. It's about what the money allows your brain to finally stop worrying about. And once that switch flips, you're not just saving anymore, you're building.